Welcome back to 10 Gaming, and today I'm bringing you a look at the indie masterpiece that has been hailed as a potential GOTY 2025, Brother Hi Pho Restaurant. This is a homegrown indie game developed by Marissa0704, a student at Hanoi University of Science and Technology, and it's been taking the international gaming market by storm. It doesn't need ray tracing or a cutting-edge Unreal Engine 5 or 6. Brother Hi Pho Restaurant relies solely on an absolutely cinematic storyline, packed with countless inside jokes hidden within its characters, all wrapped up in a completely unpredictable plot. That is more than enough to leave any gamer in awe. So without further ado, let's dive straight into this compelling story and analyze all the inside jokes of Brother Hi Pho Restaurant. Before we start, as the game itself warns, all events in the game, as well as the content I'm creating, do not in any way endorse violence or illegal acts. Now, let's head straight to the most tragically wretched pho shop in the world, located at number 10 Dan Phuong, Hanoi. First, let's meet the cast of characters. In Brother Hi Pho Restaurant, we have Brother Hi. After saving up enough capital, opens his own shop offering pizza yo at bargain prices at number 10 Dan Phuong, Hanoi, Vietnam. His constant companion is Mr. Gold, a dog seemingly created to annoy the player throughout the game. His name is inspired by the Vietnamese literary work Old Man Hack, the story of an old man forced to sell his dearest companion, a yellow dog, due to poverty. The middle-aged uncle, a tall, well-built man, always wearing a traditional pith helmet and a singlet with striped shorts. A quintessential Vietnamese look, he loves jogging and eats rare beef pho with yu tiao. The grab driver, Asia's version of Uber. He's a fan of well-done pho with lots of spring onions, but no rice and no yu tiao. The village elder, a thin man, also wearing a pith helmet, dressed simply and sincerely, who genuinely cares for everyone in the village. The ninja biker, a friend riding an Exciter motorcycle with his face completely covered like a ninja, a common image of dog thieves in Vietnam. He orders rare beef pho with beef balls, plus cold rice and 2 yu tiao. The gang boss, a mullet-haired man with heavy tattoos on his back and chest who doesn't like pho but loves to smoke. He commands a group of henchmen armed with spears and swords, a realistic depiction of local gangs in Vietnam. The Manchester United fans, a group celebrating in the streets after their beloved team finally secured a victory following a year-long losing streak. They eat rare beef pho with beef balls, cold rice, and 5 yu tiao. The term coming out of the cave is a running joke about MU fans finally being able to see their team shine.
Muchas gracias, afición. Este para vosotros.
The Weeb Student, a student from Hanoi University of Science and Technology, decked out in a full Ahegao anime outfit. He speaks softly and sweetly and is obsessed with mathematics. He eats beef ball pho with cold rice. The Titan Old Man, an elderly figure with a Titan-like posture and a weathered, vague face who only eats pho without meat. The Paralyzed Boy, a boy in a wheelchair with 5 stars, symbolizing the fans of the T1 League of Legends team in Vietnam. The stars represent their 5 World Championship titles. Sharp-eyed players will notice the team's logo often being customized by Vietnamese fans into the image of a person in a wheelchair above the stars. Fans often use this image to mock the team after devastating losses, with the word "freak" replacing the player faker's name on his shirt. He eats well-done beef pho with lots of spring onions. The Wealthy Woman, extremely rich. She doesn't like pho, she only likes Brother Hi. She specializes in hunting young men in the village. All these characters combine to create a flawless masterpiece. The story. Brother Hi's story begins in childhood. He dreamed of becoming a pho seller because he simply loved eating pho. As an adult, his dream comes true when he opens a budget-friendly pho shop at number 10 Dan Phuong, Hanoi, Vietnam. However, this shop is far from ordinary. It is perhaps the most tragically cursed PHO shop in the world. 10 years ago, the previous owner at the exact same location vanished without a trace. Villagers rumored the owner was taken by ghosts, spreading fear and preventing anyone from daring to open a pho business there. Until Brother Hi decided to open the second ever shop in the village a decade later. The village elder praised Brother Hi's pho for its authentic, flavorful taste, its health benefits, and its unbelievably low price, almost like a charity kitchen. The grand opening was busy, attracting many customers eager to enjoy pho after so many years. But what seemed like a prosperous start was shattered when the heavily tattooed gang boss stormed in, sat right on a table, and demanded protection money. Brother Hi initially stood firm, refusing to yield to the bully, However, after the aggressive man punched him, sending his world spinning, Brother Hai was forced to be cautious and back down. That night, the boss returned before closing and robbed Brother Hai of 1 million dong. Though frustrated to be in an unfamiliar territory, Brother Hai had to hand over the money. Since he'd had a decent opening day, he reluctantly accepted the loss. A crucial point to note is that if Brother Hai allowed Mr. Gold off his leash and outside for too long, the exciter-riding dog thieves would swoop in and snatch him, leading to the game's bad ending. Thus, Brother Hai constantly has to keep an eye on Mr. Gold, making the business much harder and more tiring. The next morning, the first customer was the introverted Grab driver. He comes often, only eating, paying, and leaving without saying a word. Next came the new customer, the proud and joyful MU fan, ordering a full-topping bowl of pho. The third customer was the weeb student from Houston. His clothing style exuded a free-spirited energy and burning passion for his interests. In the afternoon, the new customer was the Titan old man. After slurping down all the broth, the old man remarked that Brother Hai's picho tasted incredibly familiar. Since there had only been one pho shop in the village a decade ago, this comment suggested a potential link between Brother Hai and the former owner. A normal person wouldn't choose a location rumored to be haunted for a business. We then meet the next special customer, the paralyzed boy. Despite his physical condition, he exuded the aura of royalty, a true sage inspiring the younger generation. He even subtly and skillfully flexed the T1 team's championship cup, seemingly challenging Brother Hai for underestimating him. At the end of the second day, the wealthy woman arrived. She seemed very interested in Brother Hai, calling him young and talented, and generously tipped him a hefty 500,000 dong. Just as things seemed calm, the gang boss returned, demanding a whopping 2 million dong. This time, Brother Hai refused to back down. He knew if he kept giving in to the bullies, they would only continue to oppress him. He rose to fight, only to be confronted by an entire gang army. At this life-or-death moment, a voice of authority cut through the air, ordering the ruffians to leave. It was none other than the village elder. The elder truly was an honest official. Despite his modest salary, his sense of responsibility was immense. He explained that he patrolled the neighborhood every evening to maintain security and order. That night, Brother Hai had a strange nightmare. A mysterious mask inside the pho shop suddenly spoke, telling him to leave the place. But with his unwavering passion and a possible blood debt from the past, he was determined to hold on to number 10 Jian Fuang. His deep-seated vengeance might be linked to the former owner, explaining his choice of location. On the third morning, Brother Hai continued business as usual. In the afternoon, the middle-aged uncle warned him that the wealthy woman was dangerous. The village elder's ex-wife, who frequently seduced young man Brother Hai, however, was intrigued. At the end of the day, Brother Hai met the wealthy woman again and agreed to go to her paradise. Wearing the strange mask, he headed to the abandoned community house. He easily slipped inside and saw the dark truth. Drugs. The very thing that is killing millions of people. Inside, the wealthy woman and the gang boss appeared, trying to entice Brother Hai to join their drug trafficking ring. But she made a mistake. Brother Hai revealed his true ability. Using a deck of cards he borrowed from the henchmen outside. He unleashed his signature card-throwing technique, attacking and subduing numerous people lost in their drug-induced stupor. This scene was peak and absolutely cinematic. Brother Hai took down a large number of enemies, but was forced to break the encirclement and escape due to their overwhelming numbers. Following the Hong Kong action movie-style fight, we are treated to a high-speed, Hollywood-esque motorcycle chase. Brother Hai expertly drove his bike while using his cards to take down the pursuing thugs. Once out of cards, he used the hurricane kick to defeat all his pursuers. Watching that scene, I had to exclaim, "This is the goatee!" Brother Hai returned to his shop to a heartbreaking sight. It was burned to the ground by the wealthy woman's cronies. Even Mr. Gold was nowhere to be seen, leaving only his collar chain. But then, 4 quiet footsteps approached. It was Mr. Gold. With his professional chain-breaking skills, he had successfully escaped the arson and returned safely. A few hours later, law enforcement raided the abandoned community house, arresting everyone involved and taking down the dangerous criminal operation. The next morning, Brother Hai returned to the ruined shop. He met the village elder, who wished him a successful new life. But Brother Hai immediately flipped the script, pulling out a gleaming silver bracelet shaped like the number 8 and placing it on the elder's wrist. the game's true final boss was revealed, the village elder himself, the mastermind behind the network. He and his wife had intentionally divorced to avoid being linked, making it easier to run the operation. His power was what made the gangsters respect a seemingly frail old man. Finally, Brother High's true identity was unveiled. He, along with his two colleagues, the paralyzed boy and the grab driver, were undercover police officers. He had infiltrated the area to investigate the drug network. The scene where he flashed his police badge was the cinematic climax explaining the entire game. Brother High's father, a police officer, had died in the line of duty in Jianfuang 10 years ago. His father, the owner of the PHO shop a decade ago, was also serving undercover. Brother High's mission was his chance to realize his faux dream while avenging his father and bringing all the criminals to justice. In the end, the game showcased the courage and resourcefulness of Vietnamese police cadres. Despite the hardships, challenges, and setbacks, they always silently fight crime until the very end. That's my full analysis of Brother Hai Pho Restaurant. Honestly, this game has plot twists that are beyond brilliant. Game developers and filmmakers should take notes. If Brother Hai Pho Restaurant isn't Godeye this year, then the award itself must be flawed. Thank you to Marisa0704 for giving gamers such a quality title. What do you all think? Let me know in the comments below. If you found this video engaging, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Thank you for watching. See you in the next 10 gaming video.